everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited today because we are going to be making 3 different versions of keto-friendly, carnivore-friendly breakfast items. These are things that you can make really quickly at home in the morning, take them on the go, and they're super easy to make. So we're gonna jump right in to make the first one. So I have a non-stick pan here in front of me. I'm gonna heat the burner on medium-low heat. And this first one is something, I found this new item in the grocery store. It is carnivore and keto friendly. It is these egg white wraps. They are, as you can see, they are 35 calories, 6 grams of protein, less than 1 gram of carb, guys, and 0 grams of saturated fat. I love this one. It's the everything bagel one. I think they also have one that's like a little bit spicy, and I think they have one that is just the original one. This one and the original one are my favorite. And so for this first breakfast item, it's going to be a sausage, egg, and cheese in an egg white wrap. So like a little breakfast burrito. And I love these breakfast sausages. They're by Amylu, and they are paleo friendly. These are keto friendly. They're so delicious. And I'll post in the description below what the macros are of these breakfast links, but they come in this large pack. I buy them from Costco. I'm sure they have them at a BJ's or whatever, you know, wholesale grocery store you have near you. But these are a must. They are so delicious. And so now that my pan is nice and hot, I'm gonna take some unsalted butter. Guys, this is gonna be, like I said, keto and carnivore friendly, so we're gonna use butter for this. So let's let that butter melt real quick. Lower my heat just a little bit. All right, perfect. And we're gonna start with our breakfast sausages. So I have my breakfast sausages right here, and we're just gonna toast these up a little. They're already pre-cooked, so you don't need to cook them too long, just to let them heat up. Let's give these a nice little toss and let these cook all the way through. Let them heat up, get a little bit crispy on the outside. So we're gonna leave those on the pan. Make sure you're turning them so that they cook on all their sides. You can see it's already starting to get nice and crispy. I love for them to get just a little bit of a crisp on the outside. You can also heat this up in the microwave if you're just doing something really quick and you want to, you know, double time doing, you know, the eggs and the sausage. But I think it's nice to get that little, you know, flavor of butter on the outside. So these are almost done. Like I said, they're fully cooked already. And they're perfect for something like, you know, just on the go. I mean, and they're so tiny. Sometimes you just need something like, these are good for a snack also. Sometimes I take these for lunch when I go to work, and they're just super quick and easy to eat. All right, so that's perfect. Let's turn this heat off for a second and set these to the side. Moving on to the eggs, I'm just gonna crack 2 eggs in a bowl right here. Not drop the shells in it. We're not gonna cook the shells. All right, so I drop those 2 eggs right in and just beat that really quickly. All right, perfect. Let's heat our burner again. I'm gonna put it on low. We're gonna make scrambled eggs. All right, so I'm gonna use that same butter that was in the pan previously with the sausages, and we're just gonna pour our eggs right in. And immediately you start stirring. That way you get those nice fluffy scrambled eggs. And I love doing this after the sausage too, because all the flavor from the sausage gets into the eggs also. It's perfect. All right, perfect. And now you can turn the heat off. See, that was super quick. I'm gonna take a little bit of shredded cheese put some cheese in there. Or a lot of cheese. It's never enough cheese, you know? As much cheese as you want. And we're just gonna mix that up, let the cheese melt. I am using a blend of mozzarella and Colby Jack cheese. You can do any kind of cheese you want. You can do like the Mexican blend cheese, pizza blend cheese, just cheddar, Swiss, whatever you want. Now we can start assembling. All right, now for our assembly, I have taken out the tortilla. As you can see, it is super nice texture. Sometimes you can heat this up. I like to keep it as is. I think that the sausage and the egg are so warm that it kind of like heats up the wrap a little bit, you know, right when you put the ingredients in. Sometimes when you heat this, it gets a little bit like, almost like a cottony type texture, which I don't prefer, so we're not gonna do that. So just gonna take my scrambled eggs here, and we're gonna throw that straight onto this tortilla. All right, and now I'm gonna take my breakfast sausage. 2 is perfect for me. All right, and then all you have to do is just roll this up. And let's do a little cross section here. All right, guys, little nice cross section there, and let's give it a taste. That is so good. This is so good for like on the go. Sometimes I make this like really, really quick in the morning. You saw how long it took. It takes like literally 2 minutes to make this, and I just make it really quick, put it in some tin foil, wrap it up, take it on the go. Sometimes you can just like eat this on the go, or you can take it with you. You can even have this for lunch if you want. Absolutely amazing. This is one of my favorite of the 3 items that we're gonna be making today. But let's move on to the next one. Okay, moving on to the next one, we are doing a cheese wrap egg and bacon burrito. So I have my pan heating here on medium heat. And now that it's nice and hot, I'm gonna take some strips of bacon, and we're just going to cook it in its own fat. You don't need any, you know, cooking oil spray for this. Of course, bacon is super fatty, and all of the fattiness of the bacon will come out, and you can cook everything else in that. So it's gonna be super delicious and super, super bacony. So that is crisping up right there. We're gonna let that sit. We're not gonna touch it for about 30 to 45 seconds and let it crisp up on one side. Okay, that looks perfect. Let's take these off. And I have just a plate here with some paper towels. You wanna drain some of the fat of the bacon like this. So we're just gonna set this aside. Okay. And I have some paper towels here. I'm just gonna wipe up some of this fat. You don't want all of this fat on here, but you wanna keep some of it to cook, you know, everything else that we're gonna be cooking for this. All right, so that looks perfect. Moving on to make the cheese wrap, we're going to heat our pan again back on medium, low to low heat. And it should be already nice and hot. We only turned it off for a moment. And I have some blended cheese here. So this is low moisture mozzarella and shredded Colby Jack cheese. And what you're gonna do is spread this all over the pan, just like this. And you're gonna see in a moment here, it's gonna turn into a nice, super cheesy tortilla. Carnivore friendly, keto friendly, Like I said, everything here that we're making is carnivore and keto friendly. Okay. And just let that sit for a couple of moments. Let it cook, let it crisp up, don't touch it, trust the process. We're gonna let this cook for a bit. As you can see it start to crisp up on the sides here, you're just gonna take a spatula and start to lift the sides up. It's not ready to flip yet, but you just wanna start already lifting the sides. All right, I'm gonna turn off my heat, and using a larger spatula, you're just going to pick up this tortilla. All right, and we're gonna carefully flip it. Just for a quick moment, heat is already off, and let's transfer this to a plate. Back to the pan here, I have some butter. Just gonna heat a little bit of butter up in this pan. All right, I have my scrambled eggs here. And we're just going to pour these in. I have my heat on low. We're doing the same thing that we did with the previous recipe. So just scrambling these eggs up, except for this one, we're gonna add some salt and pepper. Remember with the last one, the sausage that we were using had a lot of seasoning in it, so you don't really need to add anything extra. For this one, you're gonna wanna add some salt and pepper, any other seasoning that you wanna use, and start scrambling up those eggs. They cook super quickly. All right, that looks perfect. We can start with our assembly. So I have my cheese tortilla here. I'm gonna take my bacon first. Just gonna place my pieces of super crispy bacon right on there. All right, and now I have my egg here. Just gonna throw that egg right on. Perfect. And now all you need to do is just roll this up. I mean, guys, do you hear that crisp? Oh my God, I'm just already so excited for this. That is so crispy. Let's do a little cross section and take a bite. All right, oh my God, guys. Look at all that bacon and the cheese and the eggs. I mean, how could this be bad? Let's try it out. That is so delicious. This one's like super crispy, super bacony. This one takes a little more time than the first one that I showed you guys, but it's so delicious, just as easy to take on the go. Everybody in your family will enjoy it. I mean, this is also one of my favorites, but now we're gonna move on to the third breakfast keto-friendly, carnivore-friendly item. Let's go to the next one. Moving on to our third and final sandwich for this video, we're gonna be making a breakfast chaffle. We're not gonna use any flour for these chaffles. And what I mean by chaffle is it is just egg and cheese. So I have 2 eggs here in front of me. I'm going to beat them really quick. All right, perfect. And I have some low moisture mozzarella here. The reason I'm using mozzarella for this is because mozzarella melts really well. And we want these waffles to be super cheesy. This is kind of like my alternative to bread that is really easy to make, but it's super packed with protein, good fats. All right, so that looks great. I like my chaffles super, super cheesy. So I basically use a 1-to-1 ratio of eggs to cheese. Of course, you would increase the amount that you're using based on how many you're trying to make. All right, that looks perfect. Now I have my favorite mini waffle maker. I'll have it linked in the description below. It is just the best. It's super cheap from Amazon and it's absolutely perfect. It makes these single serving waffles. And all I'm gonna do, I have it already heated up. All you do is plug it in, the light turns off when it's hot. That's all you have to do. I'm just gonna spray it with a little bit of avocado oil spray. You can also do this with butter or with, you know, like a butter spray or anything like that, but we just wanna grease it up just a little bit. And I'm gonna take my chaffle mixture here. I have a little ladle, and I've made this in another video of mine, my chicken and waffles video, so if you're interested in that, make sure to check it out on my channel. This is the same recipe for that. I did use a different blend of cheese for that, but this one is perfect as well. And we're just gonna pour that right into the waffle maker. Make sure to evenly spread it out. And you just close it up and we're gonna let this cook for 4 minutes. We're gonna make 2 of these because we're gonna be making a sandwich. I'm just gonna be making 1 sandwich for this video, but of course, like I said, make as many as you want for as many sandwiches as you're gonna make. So let's set this aside so we can work on the rest of the sandwich. So for this breakfast sandwich, we're gonna be doing a steak and egg breakfast sandwich. So I have a ribeye here. Ribeye is my favorite cut of steak. I like that it's super fatty. You can use whatever your favorite cut of steak is. So I have my ribeye out here in front of me and I'm just gonna season it. This is some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. So heavily season on both sides. All right, let's cook our steak. I have a iron skillet here. It's been heating to about medium heat and I'm using avocado oil. I know this is not the carnivore version, so if you have like ghee or anything that you use to cook your steak when you're carnivore, use that. So I'm gonna use a little bit of avocado oil for mine. Perfect, now spread the oil on the pan. I'm using avocado oil because it's more neutral and it has a high heat point. So it's perfect for cooking steak. And I'm just gonna take my ribeye and put it on 1/2 of the skillet. And we're gonna cook it for 1 minute on each side. We're gonna flip it 3 times. So let that sit for about a minute. All right, it's been a minute. Let's take our steak and flip it. We're gonna cook it on the other side now for 1 minute. All right, I have lowered the heat to medium-low heat now, and I'm gonna add some butter in. We're gonna let this cook in the butter to get all that flavor and baste it. All right, that looks perfect. We're just gonna check the internal temperature here. All right, perfect, medium rare. We're gonna take this off and let it rest for about 2 minutes before we slice into it. Okay, let's slice into our steak. That is perfectly cooked. Look how juicy that is. Oh my God. We're gonna do just a few slices here for our sandwich. I put my slices of steak on our chaffles right here because next we're gonna work on making a sunny side up egg. Yes, a sunny side up to make it super runny in the sandwich. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. I have my non-stick pan here, and this is my favorite brand. You guys already know, I love this brand, Tefal. Super great pans, must have. And it's on low heat right now. I'm gonna take some butter. We're gonna melt the butter in the pan. Our butter is nice and melted. Let's crack 1 egg. Perfect. And we're just gonna let this cook. I'm gonna move my egg around a little bit, make sure it's not sticking to the pan. And I just have some salt and pepper here. Gonna season our egg as well. It's perfect. And let that keep cooking. By moving it around in the pan like this, you can also baste the egg if you want, but this kind of bastes it, you know, by just doing this. Get all that butter on top. All right, that's cooked. I have turned off my heat. Let's set this aside and start assembling our sandwich. For the assembly, so like I said, I already put the slices of steak on the chaffle itself. I have some pepper jack cheese here. You can use your favorite kind of cheese. And we're just gonna place that on top. Y'all thought we were done with the cheese with just the chaffle. No, no, there's never enough cheese in the world here. And I'm just gonna torch this. You can melt this however you want, but I'm just gonna torch it a little bit. That way we can melt it on the steak. My cheese is melted. We're gonna take our beautiful sunny side up egg and just place that right on top. All right. And now for, of course, the best part. Just put that on there. Guys, I mean, that just looks amazing just on its own. So delicious. We're gonna do a little cross section here, of course. All right. And oh my God, take a look at that. Let's take a nice big bite. Mmm. Mmm. That is so tasty. Absolutely delicious. Of all the three, this one was of course the most time consuming, but this is like a, you know, a Sunday morning breakfast type thing. You have some more time, or even if you have some like leftover steak from the night before, this is a way that you can use it. Make this super decadent and delicious, keto friendly, guys, keto friendly, carnivore friendly breakfast sandwich. These are the three breakfast keto friendly, carnivore friendly items that we made today. We went from the easiest, quickest wrap that you can make to something a little more complicated, but equally delicious and equally easy to make. This one is something that's perfect that you can take, you know, really quick. You have not a lot of time in the morning, on the go, super easy. This one, you know, kind of, you know, you might have a little more time making some bacon, making some scrambled eggs, making that cheesy wrap, super decadent as you guys saw. And then this one is if you have leftover steak from the night before, or you have some more time, some Sunday brunch, make that delicious steak and assemble this beautiful sandwich. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This one was so much fun to make. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, hit that notification bell to never miss a tasty upload. Till next time.